Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's live trading, and we're going to give this one a go here on the pound. This is actually a reversal, little mini reversal trade. So just see if I can give it a go here and start shorting. So let's see if I can get a few in. I've literally switched on, so I can only. I'll explain the trade in a second. We've basically got negative momentum in the background. I've put 4 units in there. Um, no, I put 5 in. Sorry, 6. Sorry. Right, so I've got 6 units in. Let's quickly get the stops in. This will be over very quickly if it comes up and breaches 166.60. So I'm just going to put the stops in, and right, I'll just get these stops in, and then I'll come back to this. It could be over very, very quickly, this trade. So I'll press pause. Right, so what I've done is we've got negative momentum on the hourly charts. Not a lot actually, but we've got a little bit there. We've got a little 8 a.m. pivot down here, low 40s. So I'm just looking for a little play to see if it's going to come down to this low 40s. So it's not much. I'm not having great expectations today after such big moves in the markets yesterday, and there's little by way of news out today. So I'm just giving this one a little go. It was a tight stop, so it's worth a try. So I'll just bring the account over so you can see it. So this is the pound trade here I've just put in. This is trade I've got in on the euro this week. I got in on it on Wednesday, so that one's still running. I've taken some profit off last night actually during the webinar last night. So just at the end of the webinar, so just below 137, I took some off, but I was in well, actually my average, as we can see here, is well now because I've taken some off of the back end. 135.85, but that's my average because I was adding in as we were going up, but I've taken some off which were down. My entries were a bit lower. So yeah, so this is where we are. So if this stops me out, I'll lose about 100 and something pounds by looks of things. Yeah, about 120 quid, something like that. But I'm giving it a go. So basically what's happening here, oops, is we've got some negative momentum, not a lot, admittedly. I'm just giving it a force. Basically, I just sort of seen that we've come in, we've come into the bands, come back up to test the upper bands here. Let's see, we've got a new 8 a.m. pivot down here, just seeing if it will actually roll over. If it might, it's possible it comes up, does a double top, stops me out, makes a marginal new high, and then rolls over. It's more than possible, but I'm just giving it a little go here. I'm not going to put another 5-10 pips stop on. It's not that good a setup, so we'll just see if it can work out from here. I'll just press pause for a second. Okay, so obviously I got stopped out there. That was fairly quick, but I gave it a try. But it had negative momentum marginally on the hourly chart. Wasn't anything whoop-de-doo there, but the trend obviously overall was up. So but I thought quite often you'll see a little retracement back to a little 8 a.m. pivot, but it's not happened. So let's see what the damage has been. 154. What did I think? 120. So a bit more than I thought. But anyway, so we'll see if we get anything else this morning. Now this euro, the euro trade I'm in here, I was long, like I said, 300,000, and I took 100,000 off last night, just below 137, for about 140 something pips on that element. But let's go and have a look at that chart just while I'm waiting to see what else may set up this morning. So we have to go out to the daily chart. So sorry, this is the pound. So let's go over to the euro dollar. Pound, great run anyway. But yeah, so on the daily charts, managed to get long on Wednesday into the lower bands here. So pretty much at the lows, it was 135.48 was my entry, my initial entry, and then I started adding as price was going up. And so yeah, obviously Euro had a good run yesterday. Not expecting anything too great here today. Consolidation, inside bar, all that sort of stuff, and it could happen for a few days. Then hopefully it can run up a little bit higher. So we'll see about that one. But yeah, a good run as far as the daily candle is concerned. It's the biggest daily candle it's had for a while. So we'll see if it can hold on to that. But whatever happens, obviously I can't lose on this trade because I've banked something off of it. And my stops are moving up now, so I can't lose on it. Can only make a profit. It's just a case of how much, really. So that's the euro dollar there. But this morning, if I look at it on the 5-minute chart, it's just chopping around really overnight. It's not really doing too much, just consolidating. But the pound is just on a tear. It's just having such a good run. That's the 5-minute chart. If we go back out to the dailies, It's 166.60. I better get some currency soon, actually. So off to the States in a couple of months' time. So I might have to get some currency while it's still so favourable. So, but anyway, so we've tried that one. It wouldn't surprise me if this comes back in and has another crack at it, coming back down for that band, that lower, that pivot down there. So I'll keep my eye on the pound. It still hasn't got positive momentum on the hourly charts, so I am going to keep my eye on this one, and it's possible that I have another attempt at it. Is there anything else here? I'm looking through them this morning. Nothing too major. Canada is within a range from over here, so it's just playing around within that. The dollar yen, obviously after its big plunge overnight, it's had a bit of a rally up to the hourly 21 by the looks of things, and it's just reacting off that at the moment. So at the moment it's just sort of, again, if it had come straight up to the hourly 21 and this had happened last night, I'd have been all over that, but it's sort of come up, it's then dipped, then it's just hit it. I don't like that pattern so much. So anyway, so I think I'm really doing with the dollar yen just yet, but ultimately with the dollar yen, I see the potential for a bit more downside, but it has hit the daily 50 MA, so on e-signal, so I've got to be conscious of the fact that it has hit that now. And the Aussie dollar, I was thinking that the Aussie dollar was going to, it was in a bottoming process, but the whole China slowdown story is really affecting the Aussie, and so it just couldn't get into these daily bands here, and I thought it was going to come into those daily bands this week, but it hasn't. And don't get me wrong, it could reverse today, and maybe it will do by the end of today, in which case then I'd be potentially looking at longs going into early part of next week, because it's still diverging on the daily charts. It's got divergences there. That's why I'm interested, but I won't just obviously buy it down here. I've got to wait for those divergences to come in. So we shall see. Watch this space. Right, that's about it as far as those markets are concerned at the moment. Let's just go back to that pound. Okay, so the pound still hasn't got that positive momentum, so I'm going to give it another go. It's come up and then it's come straight back into the bands here, and so I'm going to give it another shot here, but with a smaller stake on this occasion. So so I'll only put 2 units overall. Sorry, two lots overall. So a smaller stake. Because if this one works out, obviously it's got further to go down to that 4 a.m. pivot, 8 a.m. pivot. So I don't need to put 3 in, but it's not really. All I'm going to do is probably, if it does get down there, is recuperate the loss in the first trade. So that's probably all that will happen there. But anyway, we're giving it a go here this morning. If this one fails, then that'll probably be it. I don't know if there's going to be much as far as trading is going to be concerned today, and I'm just not too fussed myself. So we shall see. So I've got those in. So we'll get the stops in a minute. And I'll do all these stops out in a second. So I shall press pause for now. Just back. I was in the middle of getting ready, and then I just saw that the prices on my phone were diving down. 42 is the target. So what I'm actually going to do is put 2 limit orders in for 42, and actually we've got a daily pivot below us down at 166.12. I mean, that feels like a long way away, but you never know. I'll see if we can play the rest down to there, so or on the way down to there at least anyway. So I'm just going to put 2 limit orders in. So let's bring that up. So we'll see what happens here, but at least it's come down. Looks like I was probably right the first time, but it just it wanted to play around a little bit there. So what we'll do is get 2 limit orders in. So let's do that as I'm getting myself ready. 16642. And then 16642. Okay. So that's those in, and so there you go. Very quickly, look, we come back to zero already. So we'll be into a smidgen of profit if it gets down to there. But then obviously I've got to see if we can run the remainder. So it's down at 42s now, pretty much. So obviously target's not quite hit. Hopefully it hits just whilst I'm talking here. You never know your luck. It's got about a pip to go. I'm looking at. We'll see it here. If I bring a deal ticket over, we need to see this side get to 42. They're at 42.1. That needs to go below 42 for me to get hit. And so it actually has done it on the charts. So I should really have just taken it, but oh no, it's done it. Well, there we go. So we've hit that, so half has been taken off. And so what I'll do is I'll probably just move my stop down to break even. What was the entry? At 57. I might just move my stop down to break even. 57 still looks far enough away. 57 up there. So let's do that, and then just see if we get a bit of a move down to that daily pivot down at 166.12, and I'll just manage it from there. I might take one off down here in the low 20s. And see what we can do. So let's just move the stop first of all. 57 is break even, and we'll see. So whatever happens, at least I've made back some of that that earlier loss. Even if it comes back up to stop me out at break even here, then I'll have pulled back nearly £100 of that 150, so it means it'll be a small loss for the day if that was to happen. But in the meantime, looking at this, we've got 166.20. Yeah, we've got a 30-minute 50 down there. So let's put a limit order in. Let's bring this back over and put a limit order at 166.20, and then I can go and finish off getting ready and listening to Chris Evans on the radio. Put it in at 22 just to make sure that I get secured on that, and we'll see, and we'll come back to this in a bit. Okay, so we got close down there. Actually, we did hit my level, so I'm actually going to override it. Hit the level on the chart that I wanted, so I'm just going to override now and take one off, because we put a little reversal candle in there, so I just want to get that one off. So it came down to 21.7 and didn't quite hit my level, but it hit that 30-minute 50. It's actually bring up 30-minute chart, and so it did on e-signal anyway. It's an air kiss on telecharts there, but anyway, so it literally was flicking around 22, and 21.7 is the level on the chart, actual on the chart. So actually, it's showing on e-signal. It's showing it went down to 20.2. So anyway, it was there or thereabouts, and so it's just flipped down there. So let's have a look at the account now then. So ignore the swing trade, obviously. So we are looking. Well, okay, it's at least we're into profit, and we can't lose on this one, I don't think. Now today, if I move my stop a little bit, we've got £90 in open, so I need to move my stop down a little bit. But actually, it doesn't make any difference. Whatever happens, I'd bank a little bit. So I can move my stop down a few pips, I guess. But at the moment, there's not really much more to do with it. It could just want to play around for hours before maybe finally getting down to that daily pivot. I think it will go down there, so I'm going to put that limit order in. Oh look, it's coming back down again now. So I'll put that limit order in down at 66. So the pivot's at 12. I'll put the level in at 15 to make sure I get hit, because it seems to be playing like that today. So 6.15. We'll see how it goes, and if we make something on this today, it's not going to be a lot because of the first loss, but it means that on this trade it would have made 100, 190, 290, about 300 odd pounds on this trade, bit more. So if we can get down there, so we shall see. I think that's about it on that one. So we'll see how we go. Oh yes, I was going to move my stop, wasn't I? God, you just forget, don't you? So easy. Move the stop down a few pips. If I bring it down to 54, it's still, I'll bring it down to 53. It's still giving it a decent amount of slack to have a bit of a bounce. So I'll leave it at 53 and see how it goes. Right, I shall press pause for now, and that will be it when I come back. Okay, just back. Obviously, it's hit targets. We're also upstairs getting ready. It's always nice when it's like that. So we've got there in the end. So 156 quid in the end. So what's that? 264 bucks. Could have been slightly better. This exit at 28, remember, we did come down and hit that 21 level. The reason I have to take it out, because it's hit my level, that 30-minute 50. If that had bounced all the way up and I hadn't got the exit, then it just means I would have made less overall. So, but it's a shame that I missed that just those extra few pips there on that one, and obviously got my exit here at 15, down here on the final exit at 15, wasn't it? Yeah, 15. So not bad overall. Three 100, 200, yeah, about £300 overall on that trade. Would have been a much nicer day if obviously I hadn't got caught on the first trade, but nevertheless, not bad. We've hit the daily pivot on that cable. I'm not too much more interested in this. It's been a long enough video. I'll get it out to you. Have a fantastic weekend, and be back in touch next week.